Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. It is a happy Monday indeed for me. Um, I'm gonna the first part of this video is just gonna be a kind of a general update about my life for some people who that might be interested in that. And then the second half is going to be me actually talking about the topic for today's video. But I just wanted to quickly show you what I've been working on. So as you can see, this is Skya. She is actually getting towards the finish line. Today I'm going to do some flesh stacking steps and some beginning of her lips and see how far I can get today before running out of sunlight. And the only reason I've been able to get her to this point is I was able to get my Genesis thinning medium. Thinning medium and um, my paint thinner are completely different things, so I have not progressed much on my customs because I've been waiting for now over 2 weeks for my paint thinner from Michaels. So I talked to Michaels yesterday. They're going to give me a partial refund and refund the cost of shipping because they're just having some problems with their manufacturer and the company that makes Gamasol is having trouble keeping up with Michael's orders. So that's why I haven't progressed on my customs because I need the Gamasol thinner. It's the paint thinner I use for skin tones and stuff like that. But yeah, thinning medium is what I use for shading mostly and the skin details and all that. So I got a big thing of that. So that's why she's been able to progress. Um, what was else I was gonna say? Yeah, I also wanted to mention that I finished my first. I mean, my first. Oh gosh, that would be a nightmare if it was my first. My final. Um, My final. The last final that I had to take. I actually finished this morning. Sorry, I'm a little flustered. I just finished eating breakfast because I my final was at 8 a.m. So I woke up an hour early just to be awake when I actually took it because it was 80 questions, 85 questions around there, and it took me an hour and a half, and it was for anatomy. So I wanted to really be awake for it. So I woke up even earlier than I had to, just to be awake for it. So that's done though. Don't know the results yet. At some point I will, and I'll let you guys know how I did. But it was relatively easy. Like there's nothing that I didn't know on the exam, and it was open notes. So if I really, really didn't know something, I could look at my notes because I take really good notes anyway. But yeah, so and then I had three papers that I had to write, which are I finished my last paper last night. So if I'm unless I'm forgetting something for another class, I am done with my junior year of college, which is crazy to think about. But I just wanted to update you guys because I've been a little absent. In Friday, I didn't have my the Zoom meeting on Friday because it was my Nana's birthday and we were celebrating her and then all that jazz. So I didn't have a Zoom meeting Friday as well. So these past couple of days have been kind of chaotic. Me trying to finish everything for this year and just all that. But now, since I'm done, I have nothing else really to do other than paint. And I bought some clay that got here the same time as my thinning medium because I bought it from McPherson's, the same place. So I'm gonna start sculpting again. So yeah, I don't really have much else to do other than that now that school is done. So yeah, that being said, we're gonna switch over and I'm going to change Israel into a different outfit, and we're gonna chat about this topic that's really bothering me that I think I've touched on before, but not to this extent. So we'll switch over there. Okay, so I'm gonna have to probably adjust this when I'm editing, but I had to turn the camera around so I could actually get the right angle to show you him. If you guys are new to my channel or for some reason didn't see his box opening video, this is my newest doll in my collection. I did not paint him. He's painted by Deborah Vincent of Delightful Joy. I believe that's her nursery name. But her name is definitely Deborah. But yeah, he is the Kai kit by Nicole Russell. He's super hard to find. But I'm gonna change him while I chat about this topic because it's interesting topic to me anyway as someone who is in the reborn business. I'm also gonna explain what I've done with him because he's not new. He was in her collection for a little bit. Let me see if you can see his little face. So he's not new. He was made sometime last year, and so he had a little couple of things that I wanted to change or fix because I'm kind of picky anyway. So I changed his weighting first. Well, last actually, technically. I changed his weighting. I rebaked him a couple of times. I fixed some of the blushing on his hands and feet because it was missing in some spots. Some of his creases were chalky, which usually means that the doll wasn't baked long enough, so that's why I baked him quite a couple of times to fix that situation. And for the most part, I fixed that, the chalkiness. But there are a couple things that I couldn't fix with him. And a lot of these are just, cosmetic preference things for a lot of people. But yeah, I changed his weighting because he was so stiff at the top, and now he's much more floppy, which is what I like, but he was really stiff at the top. So I took out his weighting in the top and fixed him to my preference. But as you can see, he has the chunkiest little legs. He's very chunky. I really love this kid. I'm so happy with him now. I also slightly changed his lip color. Don't know if anyone can actually tell about that. The only issue that he has now that I can't fix is he had a mark on his toe that I tried removing. You can't really see it, but I tried removing that off of there, and I couldn't really fill it in. And then he has some paint that's splattered on his thigh. And his hair, while it's beautiful and I love the way it curls, you'll see in a second when I do his hair, it bleeds. The mohair bleeds, so that's a good thing though, because now I know I won't use that mohair. I was tempted to buy it after seeing him and how it curls up. I was tempted to buy this mohair, but it does bleed. So when I do his hair and it's wet, I put this towel behind him. You can actually see where his hair's bled onto the towel. So that's common with a lot of dark mohair, so I'm sure she didn't know or didn't realize, but yeah, so other than that, he's good. So yeah, that's Israel. If you guys didn't know he exists, he does. So I'm gonna change him into a little simple outfit. It's long sleeve. It's a little windy and cool today, so I'm gonna put this on him. He had this other outfit that you saw on one. It says seriously adorable. It's not focusing. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. That's not the topic. I just wanted to explain what I had changed on him. So yes, so bad business. Let's talk about what that means as far as what I'm talking about today. Bad business to me is taking advantage of customers mostly. It's taking on more than you can handle. It's selling things for more than what they're worth. That kind of thing to me is bad business. So I'm going to give a couple of examples of kind of like each category, what I mean by bad business practice. So for me, this is my first year in the Reborn community. However, I'm not new to it. I've been in and out of the community since 2011, or 2011 or 2012. One of those years I've been in and out of the community for a while now. So I'm not new to the community. I'm not new to these dolls. I'm not new to buying and selling things either. It is, I'm old enough that I've been selling and buying things for a while now. But when I talk about bad business as far as it comes to taking advantage of your customers, it's overpricing things, knowingly overpricing things, and not seeing an issue with that, or not caring that that's kind of problematic. And by that I mean, for example, I know people who resell their baby clothes, and I'm talking about they'll buy clothes on clearance for like $2, and then I know because I went to that same store, or I know that that clothing was on clearance, and they'll sell it for like $10, for example, which is 5 times more than what they bought it for. So that's kind of like really, I mean, yes, it's a business like way to go about business, that you're making a profit, which is kind of what you want to do for a business. But it's kind of, to me, when you're making 5 times more than what you just bought something for, it kind of, that seems like taking advantage to me of people. That's way more than what the item is worth, is what I'm saying. or you know, what it was worth when you got it. It was definitely not, you know, worth that price that you bought it for and that you're now selling it for. So that's kind of what I mean by like taking advantage, overpricing dolls, you know, when they're really not worth what you're saying they're worth. Like I can't, like I've said in previous videos, I can't tell you how many horribly done dolls that people then will resell for way more than they're worth. For like example, like a horribly done African American doll will still seem to go way more than a well done Caucasian doll. And there's more reasons why that happens, but there, you know, I could get into a whole nother thing about that, which I think I'm actually going to do in another video, probably on Wednesday. But people love to overprice their dolls. I made a whole video about that, overpricing. So that's another way that they take advantage of customers, they take advantage of the community, and they overprice things way more than it should be. And so yeah, and then another thing with, I notice a lot of reborn artists in particular do this. They take on way more than they can handle. So I'm just putting these on him. This is 3-month size. If you guys are wondering about his sizing, he fluctuates between like 3 to 6 months, around that. But Carter's 3-month pants seem to fit him fine. And this onesie is 6 months. But I've also put on 3-month size onesies on him before, and it was fine. But yeah, so reborn artists in particular seem to take on way more than they can handle. So if your waiting list for customs is already several years long, I don't understand why you would then take on even more customs or more customers at that point. If your custom list, you're already waiting over, you know, over the normal amount of time for customs, which is usually a couple of months, you know, why take on even more work? Why would you do that to yourself? Why would you do that to the people who are already waiting for your customs? Like, for example, I know, and there's an artist that she's already had her customers waiting for, you know, around 6 months, 7 months long, and yet she's doing prototype contests. It's like, at what point do you set your priorities more so to the customers that you already have had paid, rather than trying to make yourself, you know, famous or try to make yourself more prominent? You should be focusing, I would think, more on your customers first, because this business is really customer based. If you think about it, the way that you grow in the reborn community as an artist is basically by making beautiful dolls and people realizing that you're making these beautiful dolls and that you're good at what you do, and you're talented and you make the dolls on time, and you know, it's really based on your reviews and that kind of people's knowledge of your business ethics. So I don't see that, you know, sure, becoming a prototype artist will help you a lot with your business, but you really need to rely on your customers. So I don't understand why some artists that I'm aware of do that kind of business plan. They will take on all these customs, get overwhelmed, and still end up doing things like prototype contests. So that's kind of like my, like, I don't understand why you would do that, and I will never do that. Like, the only reason why Skya, who's not a custom doll, is getting done before my customs is because of this situation with the virus and how delayed my items are. So right now I'm still waiting on my photography props. I'm still waiting on her hair that I ordered a couple weeks ago for Skya. I'm still waiting for my boxes after I ordered them on April 17th are finally supposed to arrive today, this afternoon. And I'm still waiting for something else. What am I waiting for? Anyway, I'm waiting for something else too, I believe. But yeah, so the only reason why they're not getting done as quickly as I would like, and it's killing me, don't get me wrong, it's really bothering me that I can't work on them. But I've already updated the customer, and obviously she understands because I can't make things appear through the mail. But this artist has, you know, all the necessary things that she needs to finish her customs. She just is doing other things instead, and that's what I will never ever understand. And this isn't about Stephanie Ortiz. This is about a completely different artist, but she does that too as well. Like, she was working on other dolls for herself and for the lawsuit instead of working on her customs, and that I don't understand as well. Like, you know, just work. If you take custom orders, if your customers pay in full, or if they pay partial, just work on the things you need to get done first, which would, I would think, your priority should be with customs. But that's just my opinion of how I would like to. I think business would make sense in far as far as the reborn community. This business, it would make much more sense to do your customs and get those done, and then work on like extra dolls that you just have for sale or things like that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. And I'm still trying to decide as well if I should make that video about Stephanie. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go check out my Instagram. All the things I'm talking about like are on there with when it refers to her, because I don't know if making a video about it would even, people won't care. Her fans aren't going to really care because they're thinking I'm making stuff up, even though I have all the screenshots and evidence to prove what I'm saying. And I'm sure she would just come up with some kind of excuse, some BS excuse for why that happened and where the money went. But yeah, I'm still deciding if it's even worth making a video about that, because the people that it'll reach are either gonna, you know, already be her fans and not care, or they're going to be people who support me. So I don't really think making the video would help that much, because it's not going to really change people's opinions of her. And so it just kind of would be like screaming into the void kind of thing. So I'm still deciding if it's worth putting that information out on my channel. But all that information of what I'm talking about, the money and all that, is up on my Instagram. And I am available on my Instagram to answer any questions about that. It's under the highlight on my Instagram entitled Little Lies. Everything is under there. All the explanation for the screenshots, everything, my whole process of how I got to that information is all on there. So yeah, I'm still trying to decide in my mind. I might do a poll if it's worth making a video about or not. But yeah, so that's another thing to me that's bad business, is where you're taking donations from fans. That I don't like that idea either, unless it's like, you know, I don't know, because even I did one GoFundMe in the very beginning of my channel, but I immediately shut that down because I felt bad about it, and then I found other ways to get that funding, creative other ways to get that funding. And that was when I was trying to get to the Rose Doll show last year, and I was not sure if I would be able to afford it. So I had started a GoFundMe, but I shut it down, I think, like the very next day. Yeah, it made me feel icky, and that was just doing just a couple hundred to do that. So that freaked me out. I could never imagine myself asking for thousands of dollars from my supporters. I feel bad when people gift me things, even though I try to do as many giveaways as I can. It still makes me feel icky inside. Like I'm taking advantage. So yeah, that's bad business. Another bad business thing to me is kind of asking for all these handouts and kind of multiple GoFundMe's, multiple donations. I don't like that at all. That just makes me feel gross as a business person. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Monday. I'm gonna quickly do his hair so you can see if it'll start bleeding. This is why I try not to actually, since I've got him, I think this is like the third time I've actually touched his hair, or not touched his hair, but sprayed water on it. She sent him with some conditioner if you saw his box opening, but I don't like the way that the conditioner makes his hair really feel. It kind of doesn't make it curl up like the water. So yeah, it is what it is. It doesn't really matter, because when it dries, it doesn't leak anymore. But it's just one of those things that happens with dark mohair. Some dark mohairs. The mohair I use, which is Slumberland, it doesn't do this. So yeah, don't worry about that happening with the dolls that I make, because Slumberland definitely doesn't leak. Lord can tell you how many times I did Emerson's hair, who has Slumberland hair, and it has never leaked. At least that batch. So mohair is very difficult like that. It sometimes depends on the batch of mohair, but I've never had Slumberland leak hair, leak dye. Sorry. But what is good about his hair is none of it's coming out. So that was another fear. You never know buying from an artist that you've never seen their work before. You know, you never know how it's going to end up being. But no, his hair is pretty good other than that leaking issue. I'm not going to do too much to his hair in this video, but I just want to show you him really quick because he's really cute. But yeah, this is Israel. Again, go check out his box opening. It was so fun. So much stuff. She's such a sweet lady. She sent him with so much stuff. But yeah, this is going to be a long video, so I'm going to let you guys go now. But let me know what you think, and let me know if I should make that video or not. I'm just really on the fence about it. And I will see you guys, oh, sorry, probably Wednesday now that I have nothing else to do. I'll stick to seeing if I can make that video on Wednesday about African American dolls and their importance. Alright, see you guys then. Bye.